Love it. I love it. All right, looks like the game is about to get ready. We're waiting on one more person to uncheck or click that ready button. They're on hold right now, and then we'll be able to start this. So, boys, it's about to go down. Biscuits rip. No, biscuits are still a thing. It's just you being able to check them with a command is not. We're waiting on one more. Just one more. Yeah, I do like these, what are they called? They're like instrumentals. Like, I love this kind of music because I'm just like, I don't need all the words. Like, because sometimes, like, the words can be really cheesy or sometimes the words can be really dark, I guess. And that's what's awesome about some of these royalty-free music is it's just instrumentals, and you're just like, you can just jam out the entire day. Especially when you have 385 of them. It's good stuff. Sir, okay. Boop. Boop. All right, boys. We are starting in the second set of games. Let's get going. Hope you guys are ready. Thank you again for being patient, sticking around with us. And here we go. So this is T2 versus iNF. And right away, we got the Marja ban. Interesting pick, or interesting thing is that Marja didn't get picked up from the last game that we saw. Warwick, what are you're asking where did I get the music? If you search royalty-free music on YouTube, you'll see that there's a playlist, and that's where you go. Neff, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks again for stopping in, hanging out. Really do appreciate it. We are just waiting for the bands to come out so that we can start this game. Aram, another one, getting banned out. Pretty standard bands right here. Jannar is another pick that we didn't see in that last game. So it's interesting to see how the ways different teams all of a sudden figure out that they don't want to play certain heroes. And sure enough, Jannar would have been such a great pick for either team. But Natalia did very well, and so did Liliana. So, all right, and it looks like they're being very undecisive and switching it up to the Velheim. We did see a lot of marksmen that they were showing that they wanted to ban. T2 full name is Trash Time, correct? Yes, it is. That is very much correct. So it looks like Zenial being the next person to be banned. Zenial is a great hero, don't get me wrong, but always an interesting ban because I feel like there's so many better heroes to ban as opposed to a Zenial. He definitely can change a team fight, but I don't think he can really change the game as much. Let me get this in before all the raging. As much as, say, a Violet or a Valheim. I think that he does very well, but I think that there's just more impacting heroes than him. So right now we have the final ban coming out for iNF, and it is going to be the Roxy.
Blue team's turn to pick.
All right, so we are going to be seeing the first pick, and right now, I would like to see a Slims. I think Slims or a Lindis would be a great, solid first pick, just to get your personal preference as opposed to being stuck with a jungler with the other one. Usually, those are going to be the two junglers in this, but maybe that's not going to be the case with T2. It looks like they're deciding to go with the Irie. Irie, solid pick.
Red team's turn to pick.
And it looks like now, knowing that they're going to be a verse in Irie, they're going to be going with a Ryoma or an Omen. So Malik being the next pick, I'm going to have to say I do like that so far. They're counter picking the Irie, which is exactly what you want to do. All right, and finally locking in the Omen, which is, like I said, such a strong top lane, and I'm I'm sure will. And against an Irie is a pretty unique battle for sure. So I can't wait to see those two, if that is going to be what's going on. Dude, Geo, 13 days. Wow, man, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the lurking. I really do appreciate that. It looks like blue team finally, after all of the indecisiveness that is the red team trying to pick those top laners, they end up picking Slims and followed up by a Crest. So solid team so far, for sure. All right, NF now have to deal with the team that lies before them. I would expect to see more of a jungler picked at this point, but I think I can't remember who exactly is their main jungler. Man, this red team is being very indecisive. You can see that they're either being really methodical or having an issue on who they want to play against this blue team. Looks like Liliana, solid pick, and Amina. I gotta say, I like that. I like that a lot. Being able to lock someone down with the Omen, and then being able to lock someone down again with the Mina is a great combo. And it will also help with the peels for the marksman, whoever they end up picking up. So right now, final picks coming out for this blue team. It looks like they will need a mid and also a bottom lane. Yeah, I definitely think that this red team is winning these picks so far. The Crest is going to definitely put some, definitely going to help with the fact that this team's so tank heavy. They'll be able to disperse the team quite a bit with Crest's ult. Look at this blue team; it's getting really down to the wire, and they don't know what they're going to go with. And picking up the Tulin and the Arduin, wow. And then immediately going for the Lindis. I gotta say, this red team looks like an all-star team. I really gotta say that this red team really has. I feel like they've won in the pick phase, but again, who knows where we're gonna be doing when it comes down to like just skill. That's what it's gonna come down to. And right now, we're just waiting for the final moments that we can finally start this game and get this going. There's not much else to really look at, right? And I would say that the Irie should be, looks like he's going to go more of a tanky build as opposed to something else. But like, I really would like to see an Irie with a execute. If she doesn't go in and kill the teammate, or the target that she's going for, they're really gonna struggle. And I can see playing her tanky, and I do see that, but I think that you got to kind of go with that execute just to make sure that you get those kills. But yes, this red team is gonna be an issue for them for sure. All right. I do like that Arduin did go with that heal, so that will really help his team, and same with Malik. Crash also went the heal, so they really are trying to bank on them being able to survive some of these fights. I would have liked to see N execute over on this side. It definitely helps early on and into the late game with that execute. It's so good. But we're not seeing that at all. All right, finally, game is starting. Let's get this going. And if you are just tuning in, this is game 1 of best of 3, T2 versus iNF. Looks like the entire blue team and red team running straight down the lane at this point. And the red team is, looks like they're all going to come to mid and say hi. And sure enough, that's what they're doing. Omen is really close to this team, and Slims gets a little too overzealous and ends up hitting Omen for that. And look at this red team. This red team's immediately rotating down to the red buff. And look at the blue team at this point. Look at where Tulin is, not helping his team, not executing on this bottom. And sure enough, there's 3 people here by themselves without a Tulin, and Tulin still has yet to come over here. And look, now he's rotating up top, which isn't a bad situation as well. But they do end up taking the red buff while Slims is busy with the blue. Arduin doing his best to try to break up this team. And ooh, a great hook from the Mina onto the Tulin, and Tulin is taken down about half-life. So the red buff is still up, and this is what I would like to see from Slims, is to see Slims head over to that red buff and try to take it as quickly as possible, but we're just not going to see it. And here we go. Slims throwing out an arrow, trying his best, but ends up hitting a creep. Really wished he probably had that arrow, and Mina would have went down there. And Malik coming in for the swings. He does have that true damage, but he's going to choose to back off at this point. Wow, one more of those combos, and he is definitely dead. Sure enough, he is going to back up at this point, and Liliana is going to be going down on bottom to try to throw out a gank. Slim getting to that red buff, and this is what I'm talking about. What has Slim's been doing this whole time? He went mid instead of rotating over to this red buff. He could have stolen it. That is a guaranteed money for him. And again, he misses an easy arrow there. I feel like he needs to be a little bit more cautious, but look at this red team. Great rotations. They are going to pick up this dragon with little to no effort. And then sure enough, they're seeing Crushed, and Mina trying her best to throw out a stun onto this. Oh my god, Liliana coming in and dropping the orb on both of them, hitting both of them, and doing some just insane damage to them at this early in the game. Liliana does see Arduin. Arduin should die here, and that's the second time that Mina has missed an easy hook like that. And here we go. Tulin being taken out. Crash coming in late to the party. Now wants to fight since he blew his ult, but is going to have to back up. Slim's now in the fray, but has not thrown a spear. Missed a great opportunity. Now throws the spear. Too little, too late. So this blue team not executing very well. Here we go. Slim's down on bottom. Popping his ult, trying to get some damage onto this, but a miscommunication for sure from that Crash. Crash had no idea and was too busy hanging out down by his tower. Arduin now looking for someone to be able to gank. He is level 3, while the rest of this team is 5 and 6. And look at these big damage coming in from the Tulin. Tulin does get healed up there and is trying to kill off the Liliana, but is going to have to back off empty-handed. All right. We got a little bit more rotations, and it looks like Lindis is going to be jumping into the blue team's jungle. Look at this, and Mina is in a perfect position to take down the Slims. Slims got so close to the Mina and just overextended by a large amount, and Slims is taken out. Look at this Irie. Irie is going to get taken out here as well. Way too overextended with no life. I really don't know what that was. And look at this. He jumps in as well, trying to get a kill, and is just dead as well. What are we watching right now? Well, it must be a bit miscommunication, because that was I mean, back-to-back kills that they really shouldn't have been able to miss. Mina getting taken out, and Tulin now in hot pursuit of that Omen, but is not going to make it, and just really dove and went all in on Omen, which really shouldn't. Now Irie going in on Lindis. They're going for the wrong targets at this point. Kill the Lindis, forget everyone else. Arduin coming back and is now back up on top, and Slim's rotating down to bottom for this Malik, but it's just really out of position. Popping his ult to kill the Owl minion? I'm confused, but I'll have to take his word that he might have thought that he was going to be able to take it out a little quicker, but just wasn't able to. Doki Doki on the Arduin, getting comboed right now while the rest of his team is in mid. And look at this. This Irie is going to try to head up top while the rest of the red team is rotating down to jungle. Irie is not going to be able to save that tower. Really shouldn't have been up there. And now look at this. Omega now initiating onto her, and she's going to possibly die. Malik coming in, dropping the stun onto, I think, all 4 heroes. And sure enough, the team is picking up absolutely everyone. Crest is the only one up right now. He is under half-life, and he is going to die as well. Irie was the lone survivor in that entire initiation. Still very low, and really needs to get this minion off the tower. So while we got a minute, let's take a look at the gold chart. And sure enough, this blue team has been losing this straight from the beginning.
Blue team tower has been destroyed.
Looks like Irie trying her best to throw out some damage, try to get the ults out, but just wasn't able to get anything going for her team. Slim's throwing out a stun, but the creep is going to respawn or regenerate. And the dragon being picked up for the second time on this red team. Sure enough, this red team is playing like all-stars, and you can definitely tell that they know what they were doing. This blue team is making some interesting mistakes, which I think that they can hopefully improve on as this game goes on. Irie up on top fighting this Omen and is able to get away. All right. Irie down, back on bottom, and look, Tulin is on his way, missing the skill. Excuse me? And look at this, Irie in hot pursuit of the Slims. Slims is going to get taken out, and sure enough, Arduin almost does as well. Irie looking to maybe initiate, but just comes and throws out a stun and is quickly running away. Arduin taken out. Kresh, too little, too late, dropping in with the ult, and those ults are so important because they take so long to get back. Looks like Kresh could go down here. And sure enough, it looks like that's going to be the case with Malik coming in, throwing the big boy swings, and he is down as well. Irie was able to get the Liliana that overextended on the tower, and Kresh is trying his best to get this Mina. Mina luring the enemy into her base, or into her team. Can I pull back any further? This is the far as it goes. I wish I could. But yep, sure enough, that is the man. It is 3-14, 5 towers, 2 dragons, and 2,500 gold for this red team. 3 kills, 0 tigers, 0 dragons, 1,700 gold for this blue team. All right, it looks like they are going to initiate onto this this Darkslayer. So Darkslayer right now. Oh, Mina actually is going to be able to catch 2 of them, but chooses not to and chooses to zone instead. Darkslayer being picked up by this red team. They are now in such a great position that if they get this Slims, I think this is the end. And sure enough, it is it. They're going to be able to push this so well. Omen down on bottom, doing a great job. Alright. We got the 1 minion that's going to be going to the base. They should be able to do quite a bit of damage to this with that 1 minion there. Skyward Dragon coming out. but a little in an awkward position, to say the least. They're trying their best to try to save that. Liliana getting some great chip damage in there. Malik here, and Malik jumping in like Batman, coming in, throwing out the swipe. Arduin is dead. Slims is gone as well. Crest is gone, and there hasn't been a single player on the red team that is under half-life. This is the game. Oh, Irie running into the core as opposed to running through it and missing her stun. And iNF takes game 1. All right. So, wow. That was something else. I really think that iNF really won in the picking phase, and then on top of that, it really started to show into the later games. And you can definitely tell that they were there to try at their hardest. So let me get the next games going. Give me just one moment, boys. While we set this game up. Alright. But wow, what a game that was. That was pretty intense. Alright. But yeah, I don't know how T2 can really come back. I think that they definitely need to pick some better champions, or not better champions, but ones that synergize a little bit better with each other. And then also, there were so many overextensions. The 3 people that went, so the one person, Irie, that was up top, ended up dying, and then we saw Arduin run up top, he died, and then we saw, I think it was Lindis ran up top. And then, or not Lindis, I'm sorry, Slims ran up top and he died. Back to back to back. Not if all 3 would have been there, that would have been such a great team fight gank, something along those lines that they could have set up. But instead, it turned into a 1v1, v1, v1. Hey, thank you so much for that host, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Hope your games were good. Hope you had a good time. We're just getting ready to start game number 2, and if iNF wins this one, it will be the last one for sure. So T2 definitely needs to win this. Dogi, you don't have to listen to those guys. You guys just have ways that you can definitely, and it's, you have ways of, like, ways that you can improve the picking for sure. I think you guys had like a great team, but I don't know if it was a great team against that one. I think that's where a lot of the issues came from. But people having bad games isn't a big deal. Like, I mean, you guys did well in the early stages, but then the iNF really pulled it together really well. Their team comps and synergy really did good. But don't listen to chat and stuff like that. Just take what don't take what they say to heart, and just looking for ways to improve. I mean, that's the best way to do it. And don't it's always good not to let things like that get in your head either. Alright, so okay, they're ready, sorry. Alright, boys. Game number 2 happening. If you guys can, keep it kind of positive. Don't let's not talk trash about our fellow people. I'm trying to keep this as, you know, non-toxic as possible. And there's being what's that called? Being making sure that they have ways to improve and just saying, you know, not hurtful things, but you know what I'm saying. You guys get the idea. Let's keep it friendly. All right, let's get going. Whoop, boop, boop. There we go. Game number 2. iNF, if they win this, they are going to be taking the series for sure. And T2, let's see what they can do. I hope that they can make some adjustments. I would like to definitely see that. Rain, if you ever come to Cali, try Orshi's pizza place. You'll love it. Sagi, I'm actually coming to California for TwitchCon, so I'll be there in less than a month. Rain, can you post the NTG gaming rules in chat? Do you mean constructive criticism / opinions? Yeah, like anything that really helps people, like I'm doing. I'm like saying like, hey, by the way, you know, there's ways that you can improve. Here's some of the things. Just saying you're bad doesn't you know, come with it. People need to know what they need to improve on. That's the whole point of these. This is why this is like the like I always say, the college football of you know, into the pros, is because that people need to know what they need to work on. And that's what we're all here for. I mean, we're here to help each other improve as opposed to just be, you know, toxic and mean. There's already enough toxic and mean stuff out there. Let's just try to be positive, you know? But yes, but it's should still be applied in the rules and guidelines should be applied to all tourneys, in my opinion. I think that it shouldn't just be just rules, guidelines, blah blah blah. I think it just should be a common thing, is that people should just not take the people being toxic shouldn't be a norm in my mind. So we should just, I understand being frustrated in a situation, but definitely being positive is way better for the community in general. I don't think we need to post any guidelines, rules, and stuff like that. I think it just should be common knowledge at this point. But it's not a big deal. Let's focus on the game. I appreciate you guys giving me this little time to just say it. I don't want people to feel bad for us streaming these games, and I just wanted to kind of just take a minute and kind of let you know that we just need to just be positive, you know? Everyone plays at their best sometimes, and some people play at the worst that they have done, and vice, you know what I mean? So it's, if this was you playing, you'd you know, it's for fun. This is all for fun anyway, so let's just keep it nice. So with that all being said, let's focus on the game. We got the Roxy and the Malik on the red side. We got Marja, Slims, and Velheim all banned on this red side as well. Arum, Tulin, and Zenial being banned on this blue side. So the blue side is put out that Tulin, which I find interesting. I think what they're doing is to come out and see a different hero that the mid is going to run. So maybe Tulin is the bread and butter for that mid person. So for instance, if they banned Violet for me, other marksmen I'm okay at, but Violet is my bread and butter. So that is definitely a
Red team's turn to pick.
could definitely hurt me in the picking phase. Chugnar being picked up, great pickup by T2, still out there. In almost every game, he is either picked or banned. And I got to say, great pickup for this T2. This is the kinds of picks that I'm talking about. But they need to be careful. A Roxy and a Chugnar in the same game, they don't have that high damage output. Chugnar is very good at being able to save his team. Roxy just is going to need to have one heck of a game in order to overcome the damage. Chugnar can do damage, but I want to see how that they choose to implement him in this. He could be playing the support. He could be playing damage as well. We'll see. They do need a mid and also a jungler, so those are going to be the next two picked for this red team. So Arduin is viable now. He has great skill synergy with almost all the
pick.
What's it called? With all the teams, because he has, I think, 2 stuns. So those 2 stuns are just so good as far as being able to lock down a team. And if you build him right, he can potentially do a lot of damage, like we saw just 2 games back. He was 30% of the damage for the team, which is pretty good. But and it looks like we're going to be seeing a Alice. So Jannar was actually picked up on that red team, which is such a good pickup, and Kali being shown on this blue side now with the Pura. Pura, such a good support. Supports right now are in, like we talked about with Rest earlier, is that they're in such a great spot, is that almost all of the supports are used in one way or another. And I don't think they need to be changed at all. Like, maybe some need to be toned down, maybe some, but by minor, numbers, but not by large amounts. Like, say, someone like I don't know, Marja is just such a good thing. All right, so far, let's take a look at the teams, and I gotta say, I like this red team. I like this red team a lot. They do have the ability to get to the Violet, which is always a pretty important thing. They have the Chugnar, they have Jannar, they have everything going for them. The thing that I don't think really fits in with their team comp is the Roxy. She's always the wild card because of her. She's kind of the last one to die, and if she doesn't have the damage and she goes a little too tanky, she can be easily ignored. So that finding that balance is definitely pretty difficult, especially when the teams are pretty different. So
10 seconds remaining.
Chugnar actually counters Pura pretty nicely. Yes, I do agree, and also Arduin as well. So this red team looks really good. If they get a good Chugnar ult and they use it aggressively, Crickneck's going to be able to dive in on Violet with little to no effort and should be able to kill him. If you go look up an old MOBA called Heroes of Newer, a 10-cent bot it and literally copy-pasted most of the heroes to AoV. By the way, I used to play Heroes of New Earth a lot. So much that I created a podcast, and we had, like, quite a few games with that. So that's funny that you said that. Google.it. I like it. Support is the easiest role. Support can be the easiest role, but one thing that you gotta note is that it's also a very impacting role. So you can play it at a high level. It's just like most marksmen. Marksmen, they'll say marksmen are easy, but you can play it in such a great way that it really changes the aspect of the game. Mid is the easiest role. The L is literally almost never your fault.
Welcome to
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Get
I miss
ready.
Han. Oh my gosh, you guys are talking about Han now. That's
5
funny.
seconds.
All right, so let's get into this game, boys.
Prepare
This
to
is
begin.
game number 2. If the blue team wins this, they will be taking this. All right, and here we go. And we got things coming out all over the place, and it looks like this. Oh, they're actually trying to go to this blue buff, and oh, look at this, a great initiation onto them. Crickneck is actually going to get taken out here, and Chugnar had to flicker away and is going back into the action. And in the meantime, we got Malik coming in, was able to finish off that Arduin, and that slow from the Kali did such a great job being able to disengage. So 1-for-1 exchange there. The blue did pick up the blue buff and also the first blood. So great stuff on their part. All right, so Crickneck now finishing up his red, and looks like Violet did actually kill Crickneck, or I'm sorry, kill the blue, which was able to get it. And I believe she also killed Crickneck as well. So good for him. We got a 4-man rotation down on bottom. We have 4-man up by Ryoma, but it doesn't look like it's going to be much of a gank. Kali running in, was able to get a little bit of damage off, but Arduin wasn't there to be able to really follow up. If we check out top, Roxy's having quite a bit of an issue with this Ryoma, which doesn't surprise me, having that gank potential. And look at this, and Violet's so close, thought that there was only one person there, but does run into the full team. But look at this rotation right now. Such a great job. They were able to throw out the stun, and that is going to be a Chugnar and a Jannar. Oh, but the flicker away. Jannar almost gets taken out as well. Ryoma going back up to top and is looking to try to steal this owl, but wasn't actually able to. All right. So things are slowing down at this point. They are initiating onto this dragon, and look at Violet coming straight this way. Jannar is going to be able to see this here and know that they are going in on this, and Kriknak is low. Look how low they are. And this is what I'm talking about when enemies need to take a moment and go back and heal. Jannar actually gets killed, as well as the Malik. And that was just poor communication from T2. They really weren't sure what they wanted to do. I think Doki Doki should have went and backed when he was already under half-life, as opposed to trying to heal through the jungle. And then, which really made that team fight so much harder, because he was so low that he didn't want to initiate or go in. So this will be the first tower of the game going to the blue team. So blue team's picked up the dragon, picked up the first tower, and is looking real good. All right, so the action is dying down just a little bit. It looks like they are trying to push this mid tower, but Arduin is staying pretty close. Violet is over in the jungle, and we have a possible initiation going to happen in this jungle, but looks like they're 4-man rotating into mid. And this would be a great time for this red team to initiate, due to the Arduin being on bottom and Violet being nowhere near. Roxy now here. They have all 5 heroes in mid, but again, these rotations are just not good enough. They really need to be able to get in there and initiate. So if we look at Roxy, she has her full damage jungle item, which isn't bad, but she really needs to have those mobility boots to be able to chase and keep up with the enemies. So she was probably going to be working on that next. And look at the damage from this Kali. Kali doing a great job focusing on the Jannar and the Chugnar. Chugnar is going to have to back it this time, which is going to give quite a bit of damage to this tower. Look at Arduin and Violet both reacting to this. Kriknak, again, still so low, needs to back and heal. Same with Jannar. These playing like this is such is not a good way, especially early on. Right now, again, Kriknak very low, is not gonna be able to initiate onto this, as well as if he was full and was try to steal the dragon, but just wasn't able to get it. And that is going to be Kriknak, Malik, and going down. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Jannar wasn't able to be there. He needed to heal. There's times where it's okay to give up a dragon, but you need to be giving up a dragon because for better reasons. So right now, Jannar, very low, is going to try to defend this and is probably going to die. Sure enough, that's exactly what's going to happen. So that's those moments that you just need to cut your losses and back up. Losing the tower and a kill is far worse than just losing a tower.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
All right, Kali doing her best to try to steal this this red buff, doing some great damage. And if she would have just focused onto this Chugnar, I think she would have probably killed him. Looks like Arduin tried to use his execute to kill off the Chugnar, but just didn't have enough. And again, this is what I'm talking about, is that she stayed a little too long with too many heroes around a tower that's going to die. You're going to end up getting killed, and it's just not worth it. Malik actually trying to do his best to throw out his ult, does get stunned in the process, which does interrupt it, and that is the end of that. And again, they're picking up another tower, so this is going to be 4 towers, 2 dragons, 16k, so 6k difference between the blue team and that red team. All right, so let's take a look and see what we are going with. This blue team is doing a great job rotating, finishing off most of the jungle. Malik is close, but really needs to jump in there and save a tower. But there's another free tower. All 5 heroes so close to that tower, but they chose not to initiate onto it. And that could be, and look, Doki Doki again, very low, needs to just back. And I believe if I know how he's going to play, he's going to come over here and try to heal in the jungle, which is such a bad move. When you are this low, healing in the jungle just really isn't as effective, because at any point, there's going to be a team fight that is going to drastically need your help, and you're just not there. So again, if there's some things to take away from here, look at once you get to later game, this is definitely a viable strategy. But look at this tower; they're going to give up this tower again because these guys aren't able to heal. And look, he's going to be going into this team fight now low life, and is going to initiate onto this and had to run away. Jannar went in full force, but wasn't able to execute very well. Chugnar again tried again, and now Cricknack tried to initiate, but it was already too little too late by the time everything was killed. So they could in this game with this creep wave. Let's look at the teams. So they are coming back up here and pretty quickly, so they won't be able to end just yet, especially with Roxy returning. But they will be able to possibly push another tower, or at least get a Dark Slayer. So taking a look at the items, I definitely. Oh, the fight's actually possibly going to break out. And look at this. They are going straight for the Dark Slayer. And, wow, I got to say, that is a bold move. They ran right past Ryoma and really didn't even see. Chugnar doing his best, trying to zone out the enemies. And then here we go. Violet coming in and shredding some people. Malik missing his ult completely. Kali trying to zone out Jannar. Jannar trying to get behind Kali. Kali is possibly going to go down here. And sure enough does. But Jannar did use his ult to only kill Kali. And look at this, Ryoma pushing the base. Dark Slayer is in their midst, and sure enough, Chugnar is able to get back, but I don't think that it's going to be enough. And I really think that they should try to finish this game. Looks like Ryoma is going to be able to finish off Roxy. The dragon being spawned, and that is the end of the game. All right, so wow, pretty crazy game as far as the ball just kept rolling in the blue team's favor, and this is exactly what you want to see from your damage dealers, is all in the about 20-25%, and then even the 18% from the Arduin. So did a great job there. If we look over on this side, Chugnar was the damage dealer of the team. Unfortunately, Doki on the Cricknack just wasn't able to execute and get over 7%, and that's tough. They really shut him out through most of the game. Jannar did come up with the 26%, and Malik did very well as well. But if we take a look at items, oh my goodness, this is definitely an issue. With a Malik, you definitely want to be more tanky. This is probably why he was doing so much damage. And wow, I gotta say, I haven't seen this build before, but I would have liked to see more of the either the Gilded Greaves to deal with the Kali and the Pyrrha, or the tankier ones to deal with the three heroes in the middle. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Going with the Crystal Talismans, not a bad choice. I would have probably rather seen the armor one, being able to go with that. I think with the Chugnar, having that mana is pretty good. So I'm not real sure. Maybe speaking out of line on that one. But this entire the blue team did really well. I do like when they go for the tier but then end up finishing Boomstick. I think that's one of the better ways to build a mid. Ryoma did excellent as far as damage and abilities, so really good stuff. So that was a good time. So good stuff, my dudes. I appreciate you guys hanging out and playing those games with us. Get to watch everything. That was pretty good. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out and always tuning in and watching me stream all this stuff. It's always a good time. Shout out to Rest for helping co-cast the first couple games. That was awesome. But oh, thanks for streaming. No problem, buddy. Not a problem at all. But yeah, with that being said, I think what we're gonna do, kick on some music, and we're gonna be doing some viewer games. I think I got maybe, I'm pretty tired, but I think that we can do at least one or two. So if you guys would like to join, you guys are more than welcome. So again, that will be the end of the PLV. So if you guys were just sticking around just for that, thanks again for tuning in. I do appreciate it. We will have games on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So it is going to be every Wednesday and Thursday. This is week 4 that we just finished with, and we will be going to week 12. I'm pretty sure, something like that. So make sure to tune in. But yeah, we're gonna do an Abyssal Clash. So if you guys would like to join, anyone's more than welcome. The code will be in chat right now. So hop up in, and you guys are more than welcome to join. We are gonna do maybe a few of these. We'll try to do maybe 2 or so. All right, so we got a few people joining, so very cool. Yeah, so not sure who's going to be next week. If you go to the site, which is PVL, you should, if I had it open, which I don't, because I'm just a noob streamer. We're just happy to not get run over in like 6 to 7 minutes. Yeah, but you did great. You guys did good, honestly. Especially if you guys are just, like, if you guys are friends just trying to play, awesome. If you were, like, really trying to improve, like, honestly, if you, rewatch the stream, I try to be as, try to give as much as I can as far as, like, item builds, suggestions, stuff like that. So if you ever do, like, really want to try to take it to another level or try to learn from, you know, things like that, it's a great way to do it, honestly. Rewatching yourself play is really good. Having a third-person perspective is also really good as well. But I'm really happy that you guys had a good time. All right, here is the PVL website. Let me try this again. There it is.